The Eagles signed former Super Bowl MVP Joe Flacco to a 1-year, $3.5 million contract. This is obviously them bringing in a new and veteran presence into the locker room. They got rid of Carson Wentz for that conditional second-round pick and whatnot. Jalen Hurts seems to be like he's the guy. He's the person who's going to be starting week 1. But is he, though? And I think there is a conversation to be had here. Conventional wisdom will tell you that Joe Flacco is going to be the backup. And week 1, you're probably going to be right. Week 2, you'll probably be right. But I'm telling you, like that week 11, week 15, that little window right there, that's when Flacco might have an opportunity to start. And I'll tell you why. Look at the past few years. Look at last year specifically. Flacco comes in. His intention is to come in and back up Sam Darnold. The Jets are a terrible football team. The worst football team in the league. Somehow, they didn't wind up with the first overall pick. That's their own fault. But the Jets are a terrible football team. And they're not clicking on offense. Sam Darnold doesn't seem like he's clicking on offense. But Joe Flacco comes in there, and you know what? First start, they get shut out. 24-0 against the Dolphins. Terrible start. Then he comes in on a Monday night game against the Patriots, and Flacco plays like Flacco in the playoffs. And Flacco goes there. He throws 3 touchdowns and bombs, just throwing them deep for Rashad Perriman. And very accurate passes. He had 1 arm punt at the end of the game, but as a Ravens fan, I can tell you that it's going to happen with Joe Flacco. That's what he does. But Flacco coming into the Eagles is an interesting move because it signals that the Eagles aren't all in on Jalen Hurts. And here's why. I'm not saying that Joe Flacco is going to be competing for the starting job. I'm not saying Joe Flacco is going to be, just going to be like a quarterback controversy. I don't think that's going to happen. What I think will happen, though, is either Jalen Hurts gets injured or behind that terrible line, behind what is still likely going to be a bad football team in Philly, Jalen Hurts is not going to play well or he's going to get injured. And when that happens, this guy is going to be under center. And if there's anyone in the league who knows how to play behind bad offensive lines, if there's anyone in the league who knows how to play around not the best weapons in the world, it's Joe Flacco. Look at who he had after a Super Bowl run on the Ravens. He's playing with Kamar Aiken. He's playing with Terrence West. Terrence West was a starting running back. Kamar Aiken was a number 1 wide receiver on the Ravens in 2015. Kamar Aiken and Terrence West are not household names. Like I'm probably the only one left who probably remembers those names on YouTube. But they wanted to bring someone in who has familiarity playing in different NFL systems, who has familiarity playing on bad teams, and who can at least manage the situation, which I think Joe Flacco can do just as well as most quarterbacks could in that situation. And for Jalen Hurts, it's going to be a make-or-break year, honestly. And the brutal truth is, Jalen, while you played well last year in spurts, next season is going to be your test. If you don't play well consistently week in and week out, you will not be on the Eagles roster in 2022. And that's not because I think Jalen Hurts is a bad player. That's not because I have it out for Jalen Hurts. That's just basic football. That's just how the business works. Unless Jalen Hurts somehow leads this team to the playoffs, I don't think he's on the Eagles roster in 2022. I think he's traded. I think the Eagles move on at quarterback. I don't think the future is Joe Flacco. But what this signing overall signals to me is they want some sort of a viable backup plan to Jalen Hurts in the case that it doesn't work out. And I'm not saying whether or not it's going to work out. I think it's going to be difficult for Jalen. I think it's going to be difficult for Flacco. I think it's going to be difficult for whoever's under center. It was difficult for Wentz last year. But we'll see. We will see. I think Jalen's a good quarterback, by the way. I don't want anyone to think that, oh, he's a bust, or oh God, you hate Jalen Hurts. No, I like Jalen Hurts. I just think that Jalen Hurts on the Eagles is not going to be he's not going to be used to the best of his ability. I think that there's going to be a lot of times where he's going to be put in situations that he just straight up should not be in. I think there's going to be a lot of times where he's going to be put into situations where he's going to be set up not to succeed. And that's the unfortunate part of playing quarterback in the NFL and being a young quarterback in the NFL. That's why people like Josh Rosen didn't make it. That's why people like that's why people like Blaine Gabbert didn't make it. That's why people who had some talent, who had some talent. Alex Smith is a perfect example of this. Alex Smith is somebody drafted to a bad team around some questionable at best coaching. Comes in, has talent, has the ability, but isn't able to put it together on the right team. Isn't able to put it together because of his coaching staff. Isn't able to put it together because the team around him is bad. Many people thought he was a bust. And when you're a young quarterback, you have to overcome that if you want to have, longevity as a starter. You can mess up early on in your career, and it'll be more difficult for you to become a starter, but you might still have longevity as a backup. You might still have longevity as a journeyman. Look at someone like Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick's on his 8th different team in the NFL. Guy just signed a 1-year, $10 million deal with Washington. The dude is just been raking in money, and he's been getting starts, and he's shown late in his career that he had the ability, just never had the coaching behind him at the right time, and that's unfortunate. And that's what I'm talking about when I say Jalen Hurts, it's a make or break year for him. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.